We have now proved something pretty phenomenal and at the same time pretty obscene. And what we've proved is that poverty for children in America is not some accident, it's a policy choice. This moral obscenity of the richest nation in the world having the highest poverty rates is not an accident. It's not destiny. It's not inevitability. It is people in this institution making a policy choice.
People who made that choice to plunge millions of American children back into poverty are every single Senate Republican plus Democrat Joe Manchin, who refused to extend the child tax credit. Today, Manchin is defending that decision. Speaking to Semaphore, Manchin, quote, seemed unfazed when asked if today's poverty data left him with any second thoughts. It's deeper than that. We all have to do our part, he told them. The federal government can't run everything. Senator Cory Booker is a Democrat of New Jersey, and he joins me now. First, let me just get your reaction. Everyone was bracing. The people in the world of policy on this were bracing for what this number was going to be. And what was your reaction to seeing it?
Not surprised. We knew what we had done, and we're talking about child poverty tonight. Know that this was the biggest middle-class tax cut in our lifetime, Chris. So this was giving 85 to 90% of families in New Jersey tax breaks, more of their federal tax dollars back. So this was an extraordinary program. And by the way, it mirrors what our industrial competitors have. They keep their child poverty rates a lot lower because what they often call a child allowance is higher. America is the one that chooses to put such a financial strain on families, holding a lot of their tax dollars. Now, this was a great program because it made it fully refundable, which basically means if you didn't earn enough money to pay that level of federal taxes, you still got that anyway. And so it lifted millions of Americans' children out of poverty and helped so many struggling families who are still trying to figure out ways to make their kitchen table economics work. So this is outrageous that in this country we are favoring other kind of tax expenditures. Carried interest is something you've talked about a lot. For the wealthiest folks, we have a lot of little tax loopholes or tax breaks that we give them. But when it comes to something that is in the national interest, like raising children above poverty line, because it literally saves our economy. For every dollar you invest in lifting a child above the poverty line, you save over $5 for our economy because children, unfortunately, below the poverty line have higher health care costs, have lower lifetime productivity and the like. There's just no justification whatsoever for allowing this policy to lapse.
Yeah, I just want to pull that graphic up again because it's so stark, right? You don't get signals amidst the noise this often in any policy discussion, right? Where you have like, oh, there's a bunch of confounding variables and what really caused this? This is just, there was a policy, it gave 80% of households with children money, it was near universal, child poverty plummeted, now it has gone back up. Here's my question about the political economy of this, and I want to ask you a question about the sort of moral insight that you had there. On the political economy, there was hope that this would be one of those things of how could you take it away, right? If you did it for a year, Manchin didn't want to do it for more than that, let's see what happens, that there would just be the kind of political energy behind it that it would be impossible for anyone to vote to let it lapse. And yet that happened. What did you learn from that?
It was a hard lesson. A lot of folks said that once we get it out the door, we'll get it. We'll see this almost 50% cut in child poverty. All Americans, at least upwards of 80 to 90%, will see a benefit from it. But amidst a lot of the pandemic stimulus checks and a lot of the other things that were going on, I saw a lot of data that a lot of folks didn't know what it was or who was responsible for it. So I'm not sure if it developed the kind of political constituency it obviously should have right now in a time of inflation and tight family economics.
Yeah, I think also, my own theory on this is that because it was there was a lot of COVID programs that were happening that people understood as temporary, as opposed to longstanding. So I think that probably obscured things a little bit. Joe Manchin is really, again, I don't want to take the pressure off the Republicans because they uniformly and unanimously voted against this, even, Mitt Romney or whoever your favorite Republican senator is. Joe Manchin is the decider ultimately because he was with you guys on the first year and not the second year. West Virginia's got one of the worst child poverty rates in the country. Have you had conversations about this with him?
This has been, there's about 6 of us, 3 House members, 3 Senators, Sherrod Brown, Michael Bennet, that have been working on this for years and years and years. So, of course, I had a lot of conversations with Joe Manchin, as well as some Republicans, about the urgency of this policy, the fiscal prudence of this policy, the moral urgency of this policy, but was not able to get anywhere. And now, by the way, we have data from this 1 year that's extraordinary, including just the brain development of children. You could see it affected because children in poverty have a lot of cortisol pumping, a lot of stress, a lot of anxiety, and it literally affects the way their brains develop. So we have a lot of compelling data. I have not given up, nor has the sort of 6 of us that are fighting for this, and we're going to continue to try it. And one of the things we're going to say is, often at the end of years, they try to pass these big corporate tax extenders.
Yep.
And,
I know extender time in Washington.
Yes.
That's when K Street goes to town.
Yes, and a lot of us, therefore, have a lot of leverage in the Senate. And, our team, we're going to prioritize children. And not just lifting children out of poverty, this is going to help tens of millions of families with children have less financial stress. And the stories about what people were using it for, helping kids get athletic equipment, paying rent, utility bills, food was the biggest thing people were using it for, to feed their children. This is what we should want.
Senator Cory Booker, who has been working on this for a long time. I've followed it, reported. I know Michael Bennet and Sherrod Brown, the 3 of you particularly, have been particularly invested. I hope this isn't the end of the road. I actually think this is not going away. So we're going to stay on this as well.
Yeah, Martin Luther King said child poverty is moral violence, and it really is. So I have faith in our nation, but thanks to you and others talking about this policy that a lot of people don't know what child tax credit is. Yeah. I want more people to know about it, more people beginning to demand that we do it again.
All right. Thank you, Senator. Appreciate it.